Hi guys, welcome to another Keyshot tutorial. My name is Liam Martin, and in this video I'm going to show you how to add smudges onto the material in Keyshot. Now, a bit of a disclaimer before we get going, I don't recommend adding smudges to anything that involves studio photography. So if you want your product to look clean and new to attract customers, avoid using smudges. But if you're trying to do more abstract renders or show how a product will look after it's been worn, maybe in situ shots, then smudges are a great way to add imperfections to the render to make the image more believable. I'm going to be using my OnePlus 7 orange glow scene to show off the effect, and we're going to be putting smudges onto the back of this device here. I'm starting out with a hard black shiny plastic. I'm trying to create that glass effect that you get on the back of handsets. And to start, I'm just going to jump into the material graph and locate this material. Okay, so first of all, you will need to find a suitable smudge texture. The only smudge textures in Keyshot are fingerprints, and I don't find them that useful. I found quite a few online. This one I think works really well for me and for smartphones, because this is generally what the smudges look like on smartphones, dragged all across the screen. I'm going to click and drag that into the material graph and plug that straight into the specular of the material. So use whatever material you need to put smudges on. If you're using glass, use that. And then right click, go to utilities and add in the color to number so we've got more control. You'll see the effect that's had already. So if I hit C on the keyboard, we've got these lighter areas of the image. This is the preview of the map, and they're going to reflect more light, and anything that's darker is going to reflect less. Because I'm starting out with a very shiny material and I want that base to be shiny, I need to invert this, because smudges on a shiny material will be less shiny. If you've got a matte material such as rubber, smudges will generally be shinier than the rubber. But in this case, I need to invert it round. So in my color to number, I'm going to switch the values from output from to output 2. So swap the 1, the 0. And then for me, I need to bring down the input 2. Okay, so now we've got white background, so it's going to be reflective. That's our glass. And then we've got these gray areas that are going to be the smudges that take away from it. Okay, so now we've got convincing smudges. I'm going to go one step further and plug that into the roughness. Again, add in a color to number. Now, in this case, I don't need to turn it around. I want the smudges to be more rough than the backdrop, only slightly. And more rough is represented by a lighter area. So the smudges are lighter. I don't need to invert them. But what I will do is bring down the output 2 so that they're not so rough. Hit C on the keyboard to come out of it. And that's the first method done for creating smudges. So that's the one that I recommend you to use, and probably the one that's going to work best for most of you. Now, if you do have a more complex material, and the reason I chose this scene is because we've got one, and because I'm already using the specular input here. Now, I could go and combo more things together and plug it into the specular, but it's going to get too complicated. So what I'm going to do is add the smudges on as a label instead. I'm going to again go to my file explorer, grab my smudge texture and bring it into the material graph. I'm then going to right click, go to materials and add in a plastic. I can then plug the plastic into the label on the material and it will go over the top. That's fine. We can then plug the smudge texture into the opacity of this plastic material and again add in a color to number so we've got some control over it. If I hit C on the keyboard for the color to number, anything that's lighter on here is going to display this plastic material more, and anything that's darker is going to reveal the glass at the back. I'm just going to bring down the output 2 a bit so it's not so clear. So you can't see it so much, sorry. And then in the plastic, if I double click, I'm going to bring down the specular so it's a sort of mid-gray. And I'm going to add a little bit of roughness in there. Okay, and that's the smudges done in this method. And you'll note as I change the color of the material, you still get convincing smudges. So if I bring this down to a dark red, we've still got the smudges overlaid on top. I'm hoping that between these two methods, whatever material you're using in your scene, you should be able to create realistic smudges in Keyshot. That's it for the tutorial, guys. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, get subscribed, and make sure you let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.